So at this moment, I'd like to, Mr. Schneider, if you could set up the flag for us, we'll have everybody raise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, Ms. Downs. Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Everybody ready?
Yep.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So I'd like to welcome everybody to Riverhead Central School District's second Zoom Board of Education meeting. I believe when we did this a few weeks ago, we were hoping we only had to do it once. Unfortunately, here we are having to do it twice. The times that we're in right now are definitely uncertain, but hopefully, I'll say this again, hopefully this will be our last time of doing this. Unfortunately, I think with the state opening it up May 15th or whatever, I'm guessing we might have to do this one more time, but as always, we'll play that by ear as the time comes. So at this time, I'd like to, can I have a motion for consent agenda?
Motion.
All right, hang on one second. So I'm going to consent agenda for, actually, let's do it like this because it's a little different. Being we're going to vote on each item, I'm going to break it down. Can I get a motion on items A through G, which would be our normal consent agenda items? So A through G, a motion for that. Thank you, Ms. Zahosky, a second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Dorr. Any questions, comments, concerns on A through G? Hearing none, I'll take a Dr. Kukunis, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Dorr?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Ms. Downs?
Yes.
Ms. Zahosky?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
And myself is a yes. Thank you. Motion for A through G is approved. So we'll move on to item. Oh, yeah, hang on a second. Bear with me 1 second. I'm sorry. I was looking at the agenda, but I never joined the meeting. Okay, so now we have item H is the election of the Eastern Suffolk BOCES board members. There are 5 of them. They're all 5 are incumbents. Can I have a motion for item H?
Motion.
Thank you, Ms. Downs. Can I get a second? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Any questions, comments, concerns? Okay, so I'll take a vote. Dr. Kukunis, yes, no?
Yes.
Mr. Dorr?
Yes.
Ms. Downs?
Yes.
Ms. Zahosky?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
And myself is a yes. Thank you. Moving on to item I, along the same lines, this will be item I, approval of the BOCES administrative budget. Can I get a motion, please? Thank you, Ms. Zahosky. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Dorr. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, I'll take a roll call. Dr. Kukunis?
Yes.
Mr. Dorr?
Yes.
Ms. Downs?
Yes.
Ms. Zahosky?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace? Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
And myself is a yes. Thank you. Moving on to item J.
Yes.
Okay, we got you, Matt. Thank you. Item J, approval of delegating power to sell and issue the TANs and RANs. Can I get a motion for that, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Ms. Downs. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Kukunis. Questions, comments, concerns on any of that? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I'll take a roll call. Dr. Kukunis?
Yes.
Mr. Dorr?
Yes.
Ms. Downs?
Yes.
Ms. Zahosky,
Yes.
Mr. Wallace? Mr. Wallace? Okay, I got your thumbs up. Thank you. I think your feed's a little slow, and myself would be a yes also. So
Yes.
thank you for that. Okay, gotcha, Matt. Item K, we're all thumbs up today. Item K would be approval of federal single audit. Can I get a motion for that, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Ms. Downs. Second. Thank you, Ms. Zahosky. Questions, comments, concerns?
I want to say I was very happy with this.
Yes, our audits are very good. Thank you for that. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Okay, seeing none, I'll call a vote. Dr. Kukunis,
Yes.
Mr. Dorr,
Yes.
Ms. Downs,
Yes.
Ms. Zahosky,
Yes.
Mr. Wallace, Mr. Wallace.
Go ahead, Matt.
We'll take the thumbs up. All right, that was a yes from Mr. Wallace with a thumbs up, and I am a yes also. Moving on, we have item. All right, gotcha, Matt. Thank you. Moving on, we have item K. Item L. Approval of agreement with the Greenport Union Free School District. Can I get a motion for that, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Dr. Kunis. Second. Thank you, Ms. Zahosky. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing and seeing none, I'll take a roll call. Dr. Kunis,
Yes.
Mr. Dorr,
Yes.
Ms. Downs,
Yes.
Ms. Zahosky,
Yes.
Mr. Wallace,
Motion.
Mr. Wallace,
He's frozen.
he's frozen. Maybe we can get a thumbs up again, Mr. Wallace. Mr. Wallace. Well, I'm going to vote
There you
yes.
go.
Hey, there we go. We got
There
a
it is.
thumbs up. And my vote would be yes also. So motion approved. Moving on.
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Matt. We have item M, approval of Roanoke Avenue, PRIP. Motion for that piece, please.
Motion.
Thank you, Ms. Downs. Second. Thank you, Ms. Zahosky. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing and seeing none. Dr. Kukunis,
Yes.
Mr. Dorr,
Yes.
Ms. Downs,
Yes.
Ms. Zahosky,
Yes.
Mr. Wallace, Mr. Wallace.
That might be a yes.
Thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up at least.
He's frozen.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, there we
There you go. We got a thumbs up. And myself would be a yes. Moving on, we have item N, amendment to approval of the COVID-19 pay. Can I get a motion for that, please? All right. Was that a motion for Mr. Wallace with a thumbs up? Okay, we have a motion for Mr. Wallace. A second, please.
Second.
Thank you, Ms.
Yes.
Downs. Questions, comments, concerns?
Oh, boy.
Okay, I'll call for roll call. Dr. Kukunis,
Yes.
Mr. Dorr,
Yes.
Ms. Downs,
Yes.
Ms. Zahosky,
Yes.
Mr. Wallace. Yes, all right, good. And myself would be a yes also.
Yes.
Moving on, item O, we have a acceptance of donations. We have quite a few of them. You guys know we like to acknowledge. So we have one is number one is 24 Chromebooks donated by the North Fork Tech Project that was in coordination with the Riverhead Central Faculty Association. Number two, there were 5 Chromebooks from the donated from the Parents Association of Raleigh Avenue. There was item 3, the third donation, 5 Chromebooks from Riverhead High School, Parent Teacher Student Organization. We have item 4, 660 Chromebooks donated from Ola of Eastern Long Island. Item 5, we have 2 4-shelf greenhouses that come with 1 indoor grow light and growing materials such as pot, soil, and seeds from the Riverhead High School PTSO. Item 6, we have one $1,000 Amazon gift card from donors that choose to buy books for students at Pulaski Street Elementary School. And we have the 7th item, a $1,000 to Jennifer Cook at Phillips Avenue School for the purpose of Chromebooks from the donor's choice. As always, we are extremely grateful for all that donate to our district. Especially in these times, it's really great seeing all of these donations. But Dr. Enriquez, I know you wanted to say something about donations. I'd like to give you the floor now for that.
Thank you. I have a brief thank you statement. So on behalf of the students and the Riverhead community, we're overwhelmed with gratitude for the donations of Chromebooks from the RCFA and the North Fork Tech Project, as well as TARA, the PTSO, and OLA, and the many others who continue to put students first and who've stepped up during these unpredictable times. I want to thank the many teachers and staff members, our leaders, our students, members of the community who have literally given and given and given of themselves, even at the detriment sometimes of their own health or their families, in order to support Riverhead's ability to continue to move forward. We appreciate every gesture of support and kindness, every suggestion made, every phone call, every email for the sake of our students. Thank you. Our story truly is one of unity. The frustration that we've experienced is due to us all wanting to help and wanting to be perfect, even though we couldn't in these unpredictable times. I want to recognize all of our essential workers who come to work every day, especially those in food service, buildings and grounds, our security, our police. You literally have saved lives in Riverhead. I also need to acknowledge the other essential workers who work tirelessly from home, our teachers, our leaders, our guidance counselors, psychologists, and social workers that work to ensure that our children and their families have the educational experience that they deserve in spite of this pandemic. I also need to commend our children. They continue to rise above. Our seniors in particular created a very powerful video message. I encourage everyone to check our Facebook page regularly and just remember how much our young people teach us every single day. We truly are in this together, and I wanted that opportunity to thank everyone.
Yes, absolutely, Dr. Enriquez. So with that being said, take a motion, please.
Motion.
Thank you, Ms. Downs. Second.
Second.
Was that Mr. Dorr?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Dorr. Questions, comments, concerns? I'll reiterate once again on behalf of the board, thank you to all our donors. I'll call a roll call now. Dr. Kukunis?
Yes.
Mr. Dorr?
Yes.
Ms. Downs?
Yes, and thank you, everybody.
Yes. Ms. Zahosky?
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Wallace? Mr. Wallace is frozen in time. So I'm going to go with a yes for myself, which would have the item pass. And if Mr. Wallace, if you can hear us, you might need to refresh your feed or wake up from your nap, whichever that's going to be. So,
Yep, but he's still frozen.
yeah, you're still frozen, Mr. Wallace. Okay, so moving on to old business, I do have a few things here for that. I'll just read off. I think it's important for for me to say this. So it's going to fall under old business. We encourage the community to email the superintendent and members of the central office administration team if there are any questions or concerns. If there are questions for the Board of Ed that the community would like answered at the board meetings, please email the Board of Education and/or the superintendent. We will continue to use old business on the agenda to discuss the questions raised by the community, and we will provide feedback at the upcoming board meetings. So I just wanted to point out that even though we're in this social distancing and we're doing the Zoom, I want the community to know that we will take, as always, as our policy reads, we will take emails, and we're going to try and, you know, like I said earlier, hopefully we don't have to be in this format much longer, but it looks like for at least maybe one more meeting. So there were a few questions that popped up from the community. I just want to touch on that. The board received a few questions regarding the 3D printers that were sent to Stony Brook to assist the making of personal protective equipment, such as face masks. To clarify this, the district loaned the printers to Stony Brook, and we will seek reimbursement for the filaments that went with them. That was, when that was all done, that was an operational thing, and all proper paperwork and anything else that was associated with loaning something out was done by the district. One last thing, the governor has previously announced that the budget vote, normally scheduled for May 19th, will be held not before June 2nd. We are waiting for further direction from the state as to the exact date of the vote. When that date is announced, we will publish a revised budget adoption calendar. The governor, who also warned school districts to expect mid-year cuts in state aid, I'm sorry. We are working on constructing a budget that is mindful of the new economic realities of New York State and the new economic hardships of our residents. So I just wanted to throw that in. I figured that was a good spot for old business, plus for all the community that's following along on the YouTube page. We are receiving your emails and your questions. I believe for the most part we are answering things as quick as we can with you know, people in and out of office. You know, when a question does come in, if our staff is there to answer it, we're trying to get the answers for you. Please continue doing that. We will use, as I've been saying for quite a while now, we will use this old business portion to just update others for that. So thank you for that opportunity for old business. We'll move on to opportunity for board members. Does anybody have anything? Seeing none, I can't see Matt anymore. He signed off, but Matt, Mr. Wallace, you still there?
Yeah, he's here.
I still see him. His eyes are blinking.
Okay, good. I lost him on my view. So I don't think we have any, there's no committee reports. I know we were supposed to have an audit committee today, but that was all canceled. So that'll all go on. So hearing no opportunity for board members, am I correct that we're all good with that?
Yes.
Okay. I do have, yes.
Can I just say something again? It's Mr. Barr. Just want to say my support for all the seniors. Again, missing this important time in school. Wish you guys could be in the classroom and in the halls and experience everything that you have. And also, we received some news today that all spring sports is going to be canceled. So my support and deep regret for all the athletes who are going to miss out on their senior year and all the years sports to the spring.
It's sad.
Yes, well said, Mr. Dorr. Thank you for that. I think we all definitely agree with that. So moving on for opportunity for the RCFA, if everybody remembers the last time we did this Zoom meeting, they had waived their portion of the agenda for that meeting. And I do know that the board members, there was an email sent by the president of RCFA, Greg Wallace. He asked us if we could read the statement regards to that. So with their permission, I'm going to read it, the email that we all got. Members of the board, this has been an interesting time for us all. We certainly miss our students and look forward to seeing them in our classrooms. But for now, our virtual classrooms will have to suffice. This transition from traditional learning to virtual learning has posed a set of unique challenges for both our members and our students. The RCFA has created a program called Lunchtime Learning, where teachers can log on and receive training in one of the various technological learning platforms from their colleagues who are familiar with the numerous platforms currently in use. Just one example of how successful this program has been, Friday, April 17th, the RCFA hosted a class on editable Google Slides, and 51 teachers participated. For the week of April 20th, there are 11 classes scheduled covering numerous online platforms. Teachers have also spent their time organizing teacher parades, following Riverhead Central School District bus routes, allowing us and our students to catch a glimpse of each other. Lastly, the North Fork Tech Project, sponsored by Oyster Ponds Faculty Association, Greenport Teachers Association, Southold Faculty Association, Mattatuck Cutchogue Teachers Association, and Riverhead Central Faculty Association, has raised approximately $25,000 to purchase Chromebooks. At this point, we have purchased 195 Chromebooks and are distributing them to our schools. These are just a few examples of how the dedicated professionals of our school district are uniting together to tackle any obstacle that stands in our way to ensure the delivery of educational services to the children and the community we collectively serve. I have never been prouder to call myself a member of the Riverhead faculty. I work with a dedicated group of selfless professionals, and it is my privilege to represent them. Thank you for your time. Gregory Wallace, RCFA President. That was the comment that they wanted for us to read. I could just piggyback onto that also. I thank all of our staff for everything that we're going through. It's definitely some hard times, some challenging times. We're unsure about a lot of things, but if there's one thing that we are sure about is all of us involved definitely love our kids and our community. So with that being said, I would like to take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Before you do, I'm sorry, Greg, I just want to, on behalf of the board, I want to congratulate everyone who was appointed this evening, especially Jean Marie Mazzuffaro, our new Director of Pupil Personnel, and Patrick Berg, Principal of Pulaski.
Yes, thank you for that. That's normally I normally get to do that during my board remarks. So thank you for reminding me. Yes, I'd like to thank you, welcome them all into their new positions, and without anything further, motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Okay, I see Mr. Hosky motion second.
Second.
Mr. Wallace, was that Mr. Wallace finally? All right, questions, comments, concerns? All in favor, Dr. Kukunis?
Yes.
Mr. Dorr?
Yes.
Ms. Downs?
Yes.
Mr. Hosky?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace? Mr. Wallace?
He's smiling.
Mr. Wallace? is he doing a thumbs up? Can anybody see that? Yeah, he's good. All right. And I am a yes also. So thank you everybody for chiming in, listening along. Hopefully we'll be able to see each other in a personal space again and get moving. So thank you guys and talk to you soon. Everybody have a good night.
Thank you.